country road, take me home to the place I belong, to Old Trafford, to see United. Take me home, United Road. Moja sana. Yo, welcome back to another episode of Football Focus Weekly with me, your boy, Nyacha Kenan MSC, my co-host, Mr. James Ndege, and producer himself,
Yo,
Mr. George, engineer.
George nani this time?
Sasa sijafikiria.
Sasa ilikuwa George Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Sasa ni George Joy Barton. George,
why Joy Barton?
amedress kaya ya baridi.
Joy Barton alikuwa msoa vita lakini.
Sana. Kwanza ndiye aliuza ile 2012 when Aguero scored.
We mnachoma.
He cooked us. So welcome back to episode 37. Now straight we go to Mr. Ndegs. How was your weekend?
Our weekend was nice. Can't complain. My worst result was a draw.
Really?
Yeah.
Kwani your Kenyan team didn't win?
No, I'm saying my worst result of the weekend was a draw. Sasa mezima tu abruptly producer pia. My worst result was a draw. Celtics won, Chiefs won. And then the Arsenal draw.
Yeah, even me, my worst result was a draw. Shabana won. Napoli waka draw. So yeah.
Napoli drew.
Yeah, 2-2.
So now they're
1 point ahead.
Oh, Inter won, yeah?
Yeah. Nikumoto mazee.
Unaona kama McTominay anashinda hii Ballon d'Or.
Alishashinda Player of the Month. Sasa akishinda Scudetto, then Carabao ya Italy ni
Supercoppa.
Ashinde Supercoppa next season. Basi atakuwa favorite.
Mtakuwa ameshinda
top 3.
Treble.
Juu sahi favorite ni Bruno.
Wa Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. Yeah. Weekend yangu imekuwa tu hivyo. So nothing much. I didn't watch English football.
Ball ya wazungu atuochingi.
Azizi team yangu iko pre-season, so as in pre-season si lazima watch games zote.
Atuochingi ball ya wazungu.
Plus ni hivyo tu.
Saingine ni ngumu.
Yeah, so we go straight to St. Mary's.
St. Mary's, nani alicheza St. Mary's?
Man City traveled to St. Mary's to take on already relegated
This game was on
Southampton.
Saturday.
Ilikuwa Saturday.
They played Friday last weekend.
Yeah.
Squeezy
wao naikongwa tu na the mids. like the mid they are.
Wamekuwa tu tabia hakuna mnini. Hakuna sana watch.
Hakuna sani na set. Ni baridi. Asa hiyo wanaingia sama, si ndio? But sasa niko imeset huko ni mchana. But walikuwa South Coast. To take on Southampton. South Coast. Southampton ni kwanga
si ndio kwa South Coast.
Yeah, sasa sidiani ya England. Moja sana. Yeah, they went there to take on Southampton. Na waka keep clean sheet.
Which was insane to think about.
Miki tulinibamba ni tweet ya Soton kwa Derby County.
Walisema?
You had high hopes. Si kama wangepata results wangelini hizo points.
So now Southampton down?
Let me check. 12.
Wamefika 12 kabla mfike 45.
Hata hajafika 40.
Hamjafika 40.
Na vile nilikuwa hapa last time, si very serious.
But tutafika huko, acha disiongee sana. How was the game?
City went there to get a draw.
You think so?
As in they did nothing. Well, when you look at the lineup, you'd say, today City are coming here to cook.
Yeah.
Like every fan was regretting mbona hajaka Haaland kwa FPL yake because he was back. Alafu we were predicting like by the first
back in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Si ile ingine alikuwa kama
so we were predicting by the first 20 minutes City will be 2-0 up. You know you are facing a team that is already relegated na where you are fighting for European football.
Yeah.
So for them they are just playing for pride. Ama wanaanza tu wanacheza wamaanze fixture.
But also wangeshinda they'd be tied with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Before Arsenal played.
Yeah, that was an extra motivation for them. But wakakuja tu wako rigid, lethargic, and all that. Like they didn't look like they wanted it the way a Pep team
at Southampton.
Yeah.
That's insane to think about.
The way a Pep team will want it. So game ilikuwa too plain. No, like Southampton packed, which is normal. Now considering they have KDB, walishindwa kuninio. Plus Southampton had really good counters.
Yeah.
And I thank Suleimana because he welcomed Euro to the Premier League.
He welcomed Euro.
Since then, since that cooking, Euro has been crazy. Yeah. So Suleimana had a good game for Soton. Then Dibbling also. I think those are the players that next season watakuwa signed in our Premier League teams.
How was KDB?
He was their best player. And considering the fact that walim deny contract, ina make it naka more weird. Like KDB was their best player. Ile pekee alikuwa anatry kufanya to make things happen.
Yeah.
Plus at least we wanted to talk to the coach, as in the ref. He's very vocal.
He was the captain.
Yeah. But hata asipokuwa captain is very vocal. Yeah, anachakanga tu ongee.
Hii team unaona ni kama hata nini watachangamka. Watachangamka Club World Cup.
Hata tusiende huko. Saturday wako ni FA.
Ni this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the way Eze and Mateta are cooking. I feel bad for them. Hata hizi sema ati wali rotate for FA.
Yeah.
Alafu Pepa naeka Mamush dakika 86. Na Mamush ako kwa timu yangu kama captain.
Kuna dhani Mamush hata nini pia utafunga.
Like this was the time for Mamush to...
I know, against Southampton. The team that just concedes chances.
Yeah, everything. But it was a shocking result for Pep.
Yeah.
Hata yeye mwenyewe hajaamini.
Umefanya nikakumbuka ranti ya Ruto.
Ruto alilia.
Alisema?
Alikuwa aliingia tu kamerani. Tunaona ile nyacho wanzi video kwa kusema welcome back. Yeye alienda straight to the point. Complain. Ati the guy who you guys mlifukuza kwa club, yeye ndiye ameperform the best. Sasa KDB. Alafu akaanza kuingilia kina Bernardo. Akaanza kuingilia Pep selection. Elewi mbona Pep ameselect squad hivyo. Mbona Jeremy fullback wa nini ako old?
Fullback mgani?
Wa Soton.
Mgani? Wanacheza na back 3. Unaona ni Bree na Wellington walicheza wing back. Howard Bellis, Bednarek na Stevens walikuwa back 3.
How old is
Bree? Bree Mongina.
Azizi Bree Mongina.
Now sawa tu.
James Bree 27.
Hajafika 30 ndio?
Z.
Makes sense.
James Bree 27 na Wellington ako 24 Brazil. Brazil. Ndio alicheza left wing back.
Sasa hao ndio Foden alishindwa kupita.
Nini reigning Premier League player of the year.
Yeah, the player who England is supposed to build the team around.
I still think they should.
No, they shouldn't.
They should. They should.
Plus now they have a 3-5-2 manager. I guess.
So when uliniambia Tuchel is another adjust.
Yeah, he can, but kwa cup games, one of games. 3-5-2 works best for him. Mtacheza naye 3 days na mtamfunga.
Foden in 24-25 has 7 goals, 2 assists.
And hizo goals amefunga sijui game 2 ama 3.
7 goals, 2 assists and 7 chances created. Big chances created.
You know, you can have a stinker, but at least you can have an impact on the games. Yeye has none. Ni mastinker tu.
Anyway, I don't know. I just want to see how they play in the FA Cup, and I also want to see how... Because Naniata will be using the... What is it called? Pep will definitely be using like the last 2 games.
For...
Prep.
Yeah,
Club World Cup.
Pep for prep. Anaona nani anachuja squad. Nani anaenda?
I still think KDB plays.
Bernardo.
You know, it makes sense. That can be a farewell.
Yeah, if I'm a KDB, I'm not playing. Namanza game yangu had na rise. Na fake injury.
I can sign a contract with someone else, but then go in July.
It's a month.
A month too?
Like, to his contract expiry.
The contract expires in the end of July.
Yeah, first July.
Yeah, so you sign a pre-contract with another team, and then there has to be insurance. you sign insurance that if he gets injured, Man City will pay for the insurance as compensation. That's if he wants to play. I feel like he'd want to play. Because think about it. If he takes Man City and wins the Club World Cup with Man City as a farewell, as the captain.
That could be. But hawashindi.
I'm just saying, it's not a bad thing to do. Because honestly, if they don't have to play well the first 3 games, let's say they play a team from Asia, a team from South America, wachapwe moja South America.
Like, wachatoka group stage, right?
Watoke,
Group stage hizo timu zote zina timu kubwa zote zina qualify.
Once umefika huko uwezi jua, watu wengine wako holiday.
Then afike round of 16, ajipate na an Inter Milan. Wenye washachapwa Champions League.
Watakuwa wametoka sherehe.
But wamejam na Champions League.
Watakuwa watakuwa wamechapwa.
Watakuwa wamechapwa.
Sherehe ya kuchapwa.
Wenyoroshe wanakuja ka wounded animals. Wachape City. But you never know. One of games ni tricky. Yeah. Plus now Alonso will be there.
Alafu pia ujui nani anaenda kuchujua. So unajua sasa hizi ma teams, there's that transfer market. People might decide to just leave. Go up and leave.
I want Mamush to ka ambitious. Akuje United. Yeah, but there's nothing much about Man City.
What are you saying?
Unless what I've seen today, they have agreed verbally with Leverkusen.
For?
Florian Wirtz.
I thought Wirtz went to Bayern.
Azi. And nika agenda City.
That's a proper signing.
Yeah.
And then
proper KDB.
They need proper replacement.
Yeah. But uzuri ni atenda huko Pepa mweke wingback.
You know KDB and
shine. That guy will be a bill ball.
KDB and
at wingback.
No, I'm saying at City.
Huko ujui kwa atacheza.
Ujui.
Mtu pekee unajua ni Haaland.
But there's no other place. You know kitambo ulikuwa unasainiwa na ujui unaenda kucheza wapi. Sasa there's a hole, KDB ametoka.
But still, anasign huyo na Gibbs White.
Ni sawa, Gibbs White atakule bench.
Na Cambiaso. So you know Cambiaso is coming as a right back.
Ni sawa.
So
but who amongst those people has won a league unbeaten in Germany?
Okay, ni Wirtz. But Wirtz atenda right back, Cambiaso acheze CM, Gibbs White acheze CDM.
No. Wirtz would be a great signing for City.
But you know how Pep moves. But let's wait and see. He'll be a great signing for them. I want him to go to Bayern. Nataka Pep assign McTominay. Proper replacement for KDB. Anything for City?
Wako sawa tu.
Then on Sunday at lunchtime, after tu nishakula hivi nimeshiba nimekaa kwa sofa. Shabana imeshinda. Then we had Newcastle taking on Chelsea. Never nilikuwa tumeshow my fans like Tonali anatuwatch, yeah? So after Tonali saw the comments, he was like, hata mtakaa sana. The first 2 minutes naangamiza chinja ua.
Yeah.
So Tonali scored. Then Jackson akaanza kucheza kumfu.
Nick Jax. Amecheza kama Jax wa Mortal Kombat. Si Jax Mortal Kombat ndio alikuwa na mkono bigi mwenye alikuwa anagonga watu na mikono.
So Nick Jax did the same, got a red card. Then I feel like in the second half Chelsea walionyesha more character. Like they played well. Hadi tukaanza kutense.
Tulianza kutense kwa sababu waswali kama tukuja kwa comment section. Tulikuwa tumetense kwa sababu, but to be honest, after that red card
they played well.
For me, I feel like in terms of just one half of football, I know they didn't win the game.
Yeah.
The changes that Maresca made and how he attacked Newcastle, these are some of the reasons why I said Eddie Howe should be fired. But Eddie Howe has proved me wrong the entire season, so I'm not going to disrespect him.
He'll be fired next season.
I'm not going to disrespect him. But how are you...
Hate watching is a long-term investment, bro.
Yeah, but then how are you
to revisit his predictions?
How are you against 10 men literally not even getting a chance? You're not getting out of your own area.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. And they're the one team that causes you so much, like, trouble. The problems they cause you is insane. So the fact that Maresca did this, and not only just doing it, he did against a team that's very high on confidence. Yeah, these guys are still very happy after they won the EFL Cup, Carabao, which is fair to them, right? It's a big deal. But the way Maresca was playing these boys, like Chris James is back to his best, basically. And that's why I said Caicedo and Lavia, that combination in midfield, whoever you get up front, and that is why I feel like Madueke would really shine when those three are there. Lavia, Caicedo, and Fofana. And because Enzo. You don't need to defend 11. Yeah. If those three are defending one-on-ones, those three can nullify attacks and counters by themselves. Caicedo was...
He's a baller, bro.
He was just breaking everything. But then again, do Newcastle really have a plan, if you think about it?
Like, I think Luames this game will change formation. They played like United for 3-4-3.
Yeah, it doesn't suit them.
Yeah.
They really struggled.
Yeah.
They really struggled. They're a team that was just playing on vibes. Like, let's just wait and see what these guys will do. And then when they finally scored that deflected goal, Bruno went and celebrated Yani like it was the World Cup final. Yeah. But I understand. The guy is a cult hero after what he did. This season, whatever he does, the fans are behind him 100%. So I'm not going to fault him for celebrating, actually. But the way they were being played in the second half was not right. Like, that was not right. I'd be very concerned.
Yeah, going forward.
But also, it's end of the season, so maybe the fans are not really concerned.
Plus, they have won Nini. Now they are sure they have qualified for European football. So,
no, they were so good. They were actually really good.
Actually, Wanchaka Mulzi number 2.
Nani?
Newcastle. Do you think if they beat you guys, Isak will join Arsenal?
No.
Why?
Why should he leave?
I'm not Riz.
But if they were to give him a contract extension, he'd get more money at Newcastle than anywhere else.
See, as in bigger club?
No, we are, but you know those guys on a rebuild. You see, if you're rebuilding, your biggest asset is Isak. I'm not going to sell him.
Yeah, true.
As my biggest asset. And they are owned now by rich people. It's not that they need money. They're not desperate for money.
But they need for FFP. You remember they can't sign Wakoka United.
It's fine. It's fine, but it's better to not sell Isak because then we have to look for another striker. Which, as you've seen, every team is struggling.
They have Osula.
Acha no mkisi. Hakuna kitu anaweza fanya hapo.
Yeah, that's true. They have to send another striker. And that's the one thing everyone is struggling with. You are struggling with that. We are struggling with that. Man City had to send Mamouche to cover that. Yeah. Liverpool need one. Chelsea need one. In fact, you guys need 2, not even 1. I see we have Zagzi. We need 1. We have Zagzi and Chido.
But Zagzi is your best 10. Anyway, that's another. We'll get there. But... Chelsea were very impressive. For me, Caicedo needs to start being in that conversation of best DMFs in the league.
Yeah. He is already.
In that conversone.
Just that Gravenberch won the league.
Yeah, Gravenberch he was by himself this season.
Wow, we lads.
There's no one who was close. Maybe who plays DMF for Nottingham Forest?
Dominguez?
One of them too. Maybe
Murillo.
That's the only person. Murillo plays centre back. Yeah. I'd have those as like my. I know, but Nottingham Forest have come from far. For you to get there, they've come from far.
They have qualified for European football. Then, actually, to digress, kiasi. Then their club owner had the guts.
The Greek guy.
Yeah, the Greek god had the guts to come down and lecture Nuno after the game. That was so shameless.
I'm trying to get his name. Evangelos Marinakis.
Yeah, Evangelos. Anafaa kwanza kuanfat.
Hey, Bazi.
Change our page.
Have you ever seen an owner just come to the court and actually do that or a field?
No.
Has there ever been?
Like the person who does that ni normal ni Beckham.
Mi hadi nilikuwa nafikiria ni fan. Ako na decorum ni vile sasa tu saa kimbi. Ameenda tu street covenant.
Wewe ulimuona alikuwa anakimbiaje?
Kwanza Nuno amekonda.
Alafu wanafanana kiplani.
Ni vile kwa kando mse pia utakonda. Pia utakobe kondo kisipo kando mse.
But for real that I think he's you see he doesn't know his their position as a club. honestly what Nuno has done akuko kwa conversation ya best managers in the season of the leagues ndio.
Yeah.
They have already qualified for European football. It's either Champions League,
You'd put
Europa
him there
ama
I'd put him
conference,
there.
right?
I mean, obviously, Arne Slot would win it, but
Yeah, this is the first time in modern football that they have done that. Alafu nenda upo kumsomea.
But you see, okay, now you're going to make me defend him, and I don't want to
Defend him.
I feel like internally, when you have these conversations in the course of a season, at the beginning of the season is let's not get relegated. Sindio?
Yeah.
When you start getting to 40 points, conversations start changing. Your goals, you have to change your goals within the season a bit.
Yeah.
But like, guys, we've already qualified
But why
for
are you
Europe.
using 40 points?
See, 40 points was the cutoff for a long time for many teams, right? So if you get to 40 points, you know you're not getting relegated. Sidio. True or false? True or false? So over the course of a season, your ninis change. You'll be like, okay, now we've hit 40. Can we do top 10? Aya. After by game week 25, unaona uko top 3. Ukasema, okay, now can we hit Europe?
Unaangalia Nottingham Forest ama unaangalia timu gani?
I can't only be talking about Nottingham Forest because they're up there. They're in top 7. Yeah.
You cannot believe.
So
I can't believe.
their expectations change. So maybe internally they're having these conversations of like, okay, now ambition is to get to Europe.
Yeah.
So when it's coming to Somia him, it's something they've discussed
In public.
internally. But I'm saying it's something they've already discussed internally of how they want to achieve Europe. I'm not saying it was right, but what I'm saying is what you're saying is that he should be happy about where they're at.
Yeah. Juu season ikianza, like I'm dead sure walikuwa wamalize top 15. Right? Say wako European football. So as a club owner, you should be happy. Kwanza unafaa endo mbebe kwa shingo. Mkimbie na yeye sijui Stratford and they are Nottingham Forest network.
Yeah.
But you be happy of what you've achieved.
I totally agree.
Next season you are
I
losing
totally
your best
agree with
players.
you. Totally agree with you.
Gibbs White,
And even then, next year there's no element of surprise.
Yeah.
You're not surprising anyone.
you can't
next
go and
year.
win Conference League.
Next year
Okay,
you're not
you can.
surprising anyone.
But next year you're losing Elanga. He might go back to United.
Hey,
Gibbs
si
White-
next season atashinda kwa pitch.
Akuja nini?
Manager atashinda kwa pitch.
Kwanza wakienda conference. But his team last season won Conference League. So that's why Olympiacos won like the first, I think in their league they won the first time since he took over. They won the league, then they won the European title before Arsenal. So maybe he thinks football works like that kutoka huku hadi huku. Alafu now he has Edu Gaspar, who refused to sign Vichak Varaskelia and opted to sign Marquinhos.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason they didn't do it. They said the way he handled pressure playing in Greece was different. You know, players develop in different ways.
Yeah, true.
The fact that he went to Napoli, even when they signed him, Napoli did not believe that he was going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Even after he won the Scudetto when they were selling to PSG, the owner still didn't believe that he's that guy. So there's always things that people know behind the scenes that we don't know.
Case in point,
Honestly, because if you put them side by side, who would you pick right now? It's very obvious, right?
Yeah.
But that's now. Hindsight is
even when Borussia
2020.
signed Haaland from Salzburg, walimwekea release clause ya 50.
yeah.
Juu walidhani the best he can do is Benteke numbers. But lo and behold.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, when you look back, you're like, wow, how could you have dropped the ball? But there were reasons as to why. Because even me, I was like, how would you pick? Even when you see the two of them play, how would you pick one over the other? But when you see now there's the Edu influence with Brazilian. Yeah. Maybe you're also trying to get cheap people. Like, you know us, just trying to get cheap
Plus
people.
he has Nini.
You had those Brazilian connections.
Yeah.
But the one thing they said is that the way he was handling pressure in the big games in Greece was not Icon Tashangwe. Because for a case like that, it's the same thing with Nani. Mwenye Chelsea alibuy when you're going for him.
Who?
Mudryk.
Yeah.
See, when Mudryk came in, there had to be a reason why Arsenal refused to match Chelsea's fee.
No, you actually matched.
No, we didn't match.
You see, there's a reporter who said that the reason why you didn't sign him was because in your
It was the payment plan.
the
Yeah.
payment plan, you had a Champions League clause.
There was a clause
But-
to meet the price that Chelsea put up.
But they didn't believe that you guys can do anything in Champions League.
But also they didn't want us to pay them in installments of 5 years.
Yeah. But lo and behold,
Because these guys wanted to pay more upfront,
then
and when you did the total, it was slightly more than what we were putting up. Because normally in that scenario, it's like, okay, so we'll still give you 5 installments, but instead of them adding up to 90, they'll add up to 93.5 or 94.
Yeah.
The guys refused. They're like, okay, it's not worth that risk.
So
So then it's those 1%ers. Like, why is it not worth the risk? Why is it that you couldn't do that? But then for Rice, when Man City came in, you're like, here, we just added more immediately. They're like, this is the person. He has the temperament. He has the,
But
so
even Rice refused City.
he did. But also Arsenal upped. If Man City didn't come, see, they wouldn't have paid.
He would have gone to United.
Yeah. So we need to talk about the Chelsea fans who came at us. I feel like so many Chelsea fans who came at us at our comment section, which is good. We don't mind the banter,
Unhealthy.
but we can only shout out the ones who actually came back after the loss.
Yeah.
Just give a shout out to the ones who came back after the loss. I feel like those ones deserve a shout out.
Let me check.
Kuna mwenye alisema alafu Sunday msihepe na
Hatukuhepa.
akatokea. Alf something.
Now we didn't help her.
Alf someone.
Let me check.
Yeah. So again, we kwanza uliambiwa. We kwanza mimi niliambiwa ati kama singe change from Newcastle win to draw ningepigwa hedi.
Me actually met in church with some.
Eh.
They told me niache siasa.
Eh.
Ati how can I go from Liverpool to this? What a downgrade.
I think only 2 people responded actually. And that video had 210 comments. There's Alf someone.
Azach.
Huh?
Azach
Eh.
replied,
Alisema?
Kulima limlim, Newcastle won.
Yeah.
Tumemuuliza game imeshaje. But I feel like the joke, they also don't get that inside joke. So it will have been more fun when...
But that it's a joke gets you whenever it gets you.
Fragile.
Shout out to Azic. What's my Azic?
Azach. Fragile also replied. Makori Costa said, kama si red card, tungeua.
Fair enough.
Run things replied. Then Beiran Driller also replied.
Shout out to Rantings. Shout out to Beira
Driller. Yes. Ni hayo tu kwa sasa.
No, there's an Alf someone who responded. You need to shout that one out because he even came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me check.
He came back and said mliponea. Mwenye alisema Sunday mlihepa. Sunday msihepe, that one. Ndio huyu nimempata. The Alfirius.
Yes.
Alafu
na tukuhepa.
Nikamshotokea wewe usihepe. And he responded with nikamwambia ni utoke kabla Sunday iishe na akatokea with 10 minutes to midnight. Akasema niko hapa. You guys lied to us lakini hiyo red card too. Otherwise tungewapiga hata wewe umeona.
Also and Jack.
Yeah.
Jack alinitafuta inbox. Akasema tinangoja game iishe ndio niongee. Nikamshow sasa sio ndio time yenye watu waongea.
Alafu Alfred amerespond tu sahi amesema at least one of us. Ni hivyo basi mmeshinda.
Inafaa kwa.
We enjoy such banter to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's not a bad thing. So Alfirius, thanks
it's just different opinions which sometimes are backed by some factors kama kwenye mnacheza, the form of that team.
And then also need to address one thing with some fans. One of the reasons why I said that someone came at me saying that players are going to be rested, but it's still not going to count. Or it won't matter because players are going to be rested. Guys, at the end of the day, Chelsea was playing in a European semi-final.
Yeah.
And being at home is even worse in terms of it's something that drains emotion. I'm not saying it drains, but emotionally you have to be invested in it because you're being faced by media, you're doing stuff for Chelsea TV, you're doing stuff for your own Sky and whatever, right? It's better it's away where you just do their local media once and that's it and then the game starts.
Yeah.
You have to do all those things obviously Maresca is not going to tell people that you're not going to play. Everyone has to train. Everyone has to go through the match day routine, right? You have to go through the warm-up, Nini, be in the game. And then even when the game is done, because it was a Thursday, then everyone goes through the recovery process. Even if you didn't play, there's a recovery process. After game imeisha, not on a sprint kwa uwanja.
Yeah.
See at you game imeisha unaenda tu unalala. See, you have to go to the pitch, you have to run as well. So there is a lot that goes on into a game. So when we say that a team is going to play in Europe and it will affect them on Sunday, it affects everyone. And it doesn't matter where they played or not. Because the team, the coaching staff, the support staff were still all involved in that day, you know. So you never know. Like, these things take a toll
But
on
see,
players.
they rotated.
But what I'm saying
They gave a 16-year-old a debut.
But what I'm saying is, see, you still find people who went and even changed for the game and went through that. Those 16-year-olds were not doing the media interviews on Wednesday and Tuesday. It was the older players who are still doing all the media interviews. It's the older players. They're not just sitting at home and saying at you
have to be
we're not
involved
playing.
in everything.
Yeah, they're involved. And that also takes a part because, again, it's a European semi-final, whether you like it or not. You have UEFA obligations as well. You have to go and speak to the media because if you don't, you get fined. So when we say, like, these players, even though they're arrested, they still have to do these things, right? It's emotionally draining. Imagine you every day you have to answer questions about a game that's not even going to be played. You might not even feature in it, but because you're one of the best players on the field or you're one of the older people, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Mtu kaka Isedo amemba kutoka Colombia. Hey, what do you think about the game this week? Do you think you're going to make it to the final? So things like that happen to these professionals.
Are you afraid of facing Anthony?
At the end of the day, I'm not saying it finishes them, but it's still work.
Yeah.
It's still work that they have to do, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same as not having a midweek game. Definitely not the same. And even if you look at this team, Malo Gusto played, Reece James played in midfield, Kukurea played, Sancho played, Tyreek George played, Badiashile played, Dewsbury Hall played. So those are the
Naivasaka.
The main ones, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the older guys. And then the subs that came on, Chaloba and Antwi and Meuka. Waleta watu wengine wenyewe.
At least watakuwa na bonus ya game.
And sometimes being rested is not the best thing. Sometimes just
You lose the rhythm.
yeah. Sometimes being rested is not the best thing.
Plus,
So,
also, Chelsea are willing to pay United 5 million
for
us to have our boy back.
but with that being said, the performance in the second half was amazing.
Yeah.
Which is why
Great
I'm
character.
saying that guys, the way Maresca panga that team second half, because first half walikuwa nje. And you could tell, walikuwa tu nje. Anyway.
Plus, it was 11 huko. So, yeah. We go to United.
Must we?
As in, tuseme tu results ka tumeenda game ya Liverpool.
We can talk about United.
Yeah, so we had West Ham coming over to, like, they were so sure of a double.
First of all, was anyone even surprised that you lost?
No. But Amorim was.
How?
He actually, kwa interview yake, in a subtle way, he said, bro, me, I'm stepping out. If you don't back me up in the summer, I'm stepping out.
What did you say?
It's a whole interview.
This is Ama use
Like he said,
the way he coaches from
like
see when he coaches when you guys are training, he coaches from Man City's training stadium.
ground. Atakangi kwa na players anaweza chapa ngumi. Actually uliona second half ya game ya Bilbao. Alijifunga bandage.
Si tulikuwa hapa live.
Alikuwa amepasua TV.
Alikuwa amepasua TV.
Like he also practices boxing.
Si nilikwamba hizo squats ana practice pia.
So
Amekuwa first.
but you ilikuwa ya second half.
But you guys were so bad in the first half.
Yeah.
Extremely, it was concerning against a team that has no players.
Where's the let me check what EBL said, yeah?
Also, Wan-Bissaka has just come to Old Trafford and kept a clean sheet.
And assisted.
And was one of the best players.
Oh, wongo yo.
The fact that Suchek scored you from he used his foot to score against you.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how damning that is?
How bad you have to be.
Suchek used his foot
Oh yeah, this is what he said.
as a last man run.
Paraphrasing, Ruben Amorim himself said that caps are not true barometer of success and the leagues are. He said he's embarrassed to look at the league table and we're 17th, such that even winning Europa League,
I'm also embarrassed for you.
haita change anything.
And West Ham beat you to go over you like that. That's painful.
So Sisi, for us, we are not embarrassed as fans. This is what we want. This season, I think there's a time, was it in January or December? Like a lot of United fans said, imagine tumalize league number 16, but tushinde FA na Europa League. Like winning cups is for fans. You know? But it doesn't show the true success of the team. Na like progress is the right word, right? Today, United News, they have reported that our target for next season is top 6. Which is more realistic. Actually, me, I want top 8.
Yeah.
We as fans, it's time we humble ourselves enough and realize that we are in a transition that since Fergie left, I think tumekuwa na hiyo kiburi ya sisi in United. But things are so bad that we have to accept that we are bad.
Yeah.
Tuache kudhani bado sisi ni wale wase. Sisi si wale wase. Actually, sisi ni wakali kuliko team. So we need to, personally, I don't want Amorim to be sacked.
But the game might leave.
Yeah. Like the pressure from fans, a section of fans and the media. No media wanachakanga wakue na mtu wao kusaka. Last season and this season it was Ten Hag. Now it's Amorim. Plus you are a United manager. They have to talk about you.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
Comes with the job.
Yeah, so the fact that this guy knew, unajua he didn't want to come in the first place. He wanted to come in the summer. Wakakacha kwambia it's now or never. Plus when United comes, unakubali tu.
Yeah.
So he gave us a month. Then he came, right? Then after assessing the squad, he said, it will get worse.
If it gets better.
And insisted on the worse. Because the first few games we drew and won, mafans wakadhani ni kawaida. Then we started losing.
Ni remontada.
Yeah. The most used word in Arsenal dressing room last season. Last week. But yeah, squad, in as much as it's not up to par, I think pia he underrated the league.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
He came in so stubborn.
I think he overrated his ability to turn it around in the first season.
That's the same thing, sir.
No, it's not the same.
It's the same.
Because
okay,
there's underrating the league yenye teams are better than you. But when I say overrating his ability, are you guys better than when Ten Hag was there?
Performance-wise, we are.
No, underlying stats. Are you guys better?
Nah.
Because, again, those are things you have to look internally. You can't control what people do against you.
Yeah.
But you internally, are you creating chances?
Yes,
the same way you were doing it under Ten Hag.
Ten Hag, we aren't.
Is Garnacho explosive the same way under Ten Hag?
Very explosive. Very explosive.
You
always compare your positions ni different.
Yeah, but only 3 teams have scored less goals than you.
Actually, this is the seventh.
Stats, man.
This is the seventh.
But that's what I'm
team
saying.
to do
Like
a
you
double.
cannot say you can say the league is whatever, but then Ten Hag was there for how many seasons?
3
seasons. In those 3 seasons, he was never in the bottom 4 of goals scored and goals conceded.
But we were in the bottom of goals chances conceded. Because
that's fine. But there was something that was positive.
Nah,
Under Amorim, you guys are you're in the bottom 3 of bottom 4 of almost every stat.
But we are in the first top something
Yeah.
of XG, not like the negative XG, not scored. We've created a lot, but we've scored none.
But also you've scored none. But you also concede.
No, we don't concede.
You do.
Like in the last 3 games. Acha nikusomee XG za the last 3
Let's
games.
check. Created stats since Amorim joined.
No, XG za the last 3 games.
Hii season I count.
No, it has to count. What do you mean I count? See, you're Man United. If
Shut
you win
up.
Europa League, this season has to count because it has taken you to Champions League. So it's a
Shut
big
up.
season for you.
Shut up.
So the XG versus West Ham was 1.5 for West Ham, right? nafaa kuangalia results. For Brentford, it
You
was
mean for West Ham? For Man U ama for West
as in
Ham?
for West Ham. For West Ham, for Brentford it was 2.5 na they scored 4. Bournemouth, it was 0.6 na they scored 1. Now in all these games, XG yetu iko better than the opponents, but we don't score.
Okay, so I read my stats.
Yeah, read them.
So Amorim came in on 23rd November 2024.
Acha nimwambia
Sindio?
tulikuwa 4 points behind.
Ah, no. See, I'm establishing. Nakupatia hii ni S-tab. Alijoin 23rd November 2024. So he's had 5 months. This is the 5th month.
4. Tuanze 2025.
No. We can't discard December. December has the most games. December has the most games in the league.
Hakuwa na timu yake hiyo time.
No. December hata sasa ana timu yake.
Hakuwa anajua ma players by names.
Sawa, tuko na December.
Lili
December,
uki-
January, February,
alikuwa
March,
anarotate mara mbili.
April.
Yeah, like
December,
alikuwa change
January,
squad.
February, March, April. Hiyo ni 5. May. 5 the image ko May. Amorim's win record of 24% is worse than any United manager since Ferguson, with David Moyes 50% being the worst.
It's 5 months, man.
It's
It's only 5 months.
Plus different factors.
No,
Our
see-
managers had a full preseason. They had to sign their players. This guy hajakuwa na preseason.
Let him finish his
I mean
stats.
that's true, but Carrick is not here.
Just finish.
Yeah, just finish.
Carrick only had 3 games.
Just finish your
Shut
stats.
up.
24% is worse than
Worst ama worse.
is worse than any United manager. And before that, Moyes was the worst at 50%.
Yeah.
Moyes was the worst at 50%. He's at 24. United have won just 6 of the 25 league matches, drawing 6 and losing 13. 13. You've lost 13. In that time, you have conceded 41 goals.
Because I'm feeling pain in my heart.
The only teams that have conceded more than you are the 3 relegated sides
Sasa tuko kwa tunafaa kuwa.
and Tottenham.
Tuko tunafaa kuwa.
You have conceded 1.6 goals per game under Amorim. You've kept 4 clean sheets since he joined. You have the 6th worst record in the league in front of goal, failing to score in 10 of 25 league games.
Sasa hapo tunaweza blame Amorim.
Imetosha
You
sasa,
have
man.
scored 30 times.
Imetosha.
No, see, we're comparing stats. Because again, when you come in as a manager,
No,
there are
no.
some things. Listen, when you come in as a manager, you at least change one thing, right? Like at least make yourselves hard to beat,
He changed the system.
or make yourselves create more chances. That one you're doing, but are you finishing them?
No, we are not.
But he's changed the formation.
Yeah.
That's fine, but why are we not seeing it in the stats is
See,
my
you
question.
have seen it.
Ana players.
Of the 344 shades, of the 344 shots that they have had, Nyinyi, 107 have been on target. Your 30 goal yield leaves you at a conversion rate of 8.7. Worse only is Leicester and Southampton.
Yeah.
Only Leicester and Southampton have a worse conversion rate.
Who is your source? I don't trust them.
Then your XG.
American Zero.
Now this is the one. Your XG. In terms of underperforming XG, do you know how many teams are underperforming XG more than you guys? Only one.
Sasa hapo una blame aje manager.
Crystal Palace. But where are they on the table?
How do you blame a manager? They have Mateta and Eze.
But let me ask you. You've compared his season to other managers' seasons.
Yeah.
Do you think mali tumemaliza hizo seasons zingine ina reflect vile season imekuwa? Mali let's say Moyes. Vile tulikuwa nacheza hiyo season. Do you think
Hata kumaliza
we deserve to finish that in that position?
Where you at now?
No, in Moyes' season. So you're comparing Amorim
plus
to
he
Moyes.
had a squad that had been to Champions League final a year before and won the Premier League,
Ndo
right?
nasema Moyes ndo alikuwa lowest before Amorim aingie. Ndo nasema season vile tulicheza under Moyes hiyo season. Do you think it warranted us to finish in tulimaliza number
8.
tulifaa kumaliza number 8 hiyo season ama lower or higher?
Like atuje maliza below 8.
No, nasema vile tulikuwa tunacheza hiyo season. Performance yetu ilifaa tumalize namba ngapi? Lower or higher?
Lower.
No, you guys, that season, because you guys were still spoiled under Ferguson, whatever Moyes did, no one accepted it. Because your standards as fans was too high.
Because this
And you guys were being told, you were being
he
told that there's going to be a change. Like when Ferguson leaves, there's going to be a change. Your expectations in that season, I'm telling you, Moyes would come with a draw from Crystal Palace. Right now, you would embrace it. Moyes was being punished for only winning by 1 goal.
Bro, he broke
Moyes-
all the negative records. Teams,
No,
Swansea, let me remind you, Swansea.
But listen, not even Moyes. Do you realize every manager that has come has broken the previous manager's record?
Ten Hag na amevunja zote.
But that's what I'm saying. Every manager.
Unaona Moyes.
When one comes, the next one who comes, I was like, oh, yeye ndio umevunja.
Unaona Moyes.
Lazima nivunje.
Unaona Moyes. Swansea walitoa FA first round. It has never happened. You remember Angel and Michu, they scored. Everton won at OT for the first time in how many years? Bran Oviedo scored. Right? At least the credit I can give all these managers, our first half record has been intact. However, Noni Kienda versus Villa.
And then Mourinho had a record. Mourinho's records were now on the offensive end, where you guys were not creating chances.
Yeah.
But you guys would win games because your defense was tight. Then Mourinho's records were the least chances created,
Least
the
goals scored.
least goals scored, least, like, he was breaking those records. When Ole came, most conceded in Sijui how long? Doubles. Solskjaer Kwanzaa had the most teams do doubles on him, right?
No. It was Ten Hag.
It was Ten Hag.
Ten Hag na amevunja
No,
zote.
before Ten Hag. See, it was Solskjaer.
No, it was Rangnick.
Oh my God, there was Rangnick.
Unaona Rangnick na Ten Hag ndio
Forgot.
a team hadn't won at OT for 120 years.
Umesawadi Rude.
They come and win.
I know Rude
at
is
least-
fine. Rude and Carrick are
Rude
fine.
had 95%.
Hujajibu swali yangu. Tulikuwa nafaa kumaliza lower or higher?
I don't know. The point was you finished 8th and it was an abomination. I don't know where you were supposed to finish. In my opinion, in my opinion, whoever came after Ferguson was a sacrificial lamb. That guy was never going to be given time.
Giggs took over, slapped. But I blame the Glazers because in the Fergie biography, he had dinner with guess who?
Moyes.
No.
When? After he retired, or
Like when he knew he was going to retire.
Oh,
before
Mourinho.
anyone else knew.
Mourinho.
And who?
I can't remember the second
And
person.
Pep.
Oh yeah, Pep. Yes, you're right.
He had dinner with the two. Hao ndio walikuwa first choice wake. Then Glazers wakaona huyu msa kwa jaba. So the next available manager mwenye Mourinho as in Fergie would think of was Moyes.
His Scotsman.
He went to Moyes' place at night. Akamwambia want you to take over. Moyes akakataa kwanza.
But also that season
Eric
before,
angekataa tu choki.
Moyes was the only manager to take a team to Champions League
Yeah.
that was not Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, United,
And Spurs.
and Spurs.
Yeah.
He was the only manager. If you look at his teams, they were playing so James McFadden and James Beattie. This guy was a world, like, I mean, they were not great, but for what they did.
Then Moyes had a chance to sign Alcantara. He even got, like, 2 players have gotten depressed from not signing to United. Thiago, actually 3. Thiago, Kroos, and Van Dijk. He was given Kroos ama Alcantara, then akasign Fellaini. Was supposed to sign Bale, but I don't know. I don't remember how he said how that deal didn't happen.
Fellaini makes sense in the sense of
He was his
that's
best.
his player.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you always want to bring someone
Yeah, but
who...
Fellaini helped us.
Yeah, Fellaini helped you.
But
You have to get that person who, when you tell them, okay, this is what I want from you on the field, like extension of the coach kind of thing, right? And he's an X factor. When things are not working, kabisa, we have someone who can head the ball.
Anyway, enough with United.
No, there's not enough.
Tungoje next season.
It's not enough.
Atungoje nini? Europa League.
But do you think this kind of season was needed in United?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah.
If you win Europa League,
It was.
you will go back to, let me tell you, if you guys win Europa League, you will go back to the same cycle.
No, he has said
Because
it. He has said
you
it.
you will not recruit the best players.
We will.
You won't.
We will.
What makes you think over the last what part of recruitment at United,
Like,
the last 5 years, has made you believe that you guys are going to recruit the best?
This is the first summer.
In fact,
This is the first summer we are having with a proper footballing structure.
listen.
You see, last season, venye anaitwa sa nani? Sir Jim said, your nickname, your namesake, said the decision to sack Ten Hag wasn't made because most of the people who were supposed to make those decisions came after.
So who was fired?
nani anaitwa je msem tulitoa Newcastle na akaenda
when was he fired?
Dan Ashworth.
When was he fired?
Ashworth, after 2 months. Ashworth,
And then you got someone to replace.
Wilcox,
You got someone to replace.
Omar Barada.
Have they been replaced?
All these guys hao ndi watu wenye walikuwa nafaa ku make footballing decisions na walikuwa on gardening leave. So the person who still was making those decisions was Akina Hargreaves and a certain guy called
Nani? Ule mse wenye Fletcher.
Yeah, Fletcher. So if you have Fletcher, the DNA guy,
The hem.
making such decisions, alafu Sunday unamuona kwa dugout.
So my question remains.
Unajua ni kama kuona Tiki kwa dugout.
Kuna nani?
Tiki anaitwa Tiki?
Huyo.
Yeah. Kumuona it's crazy.
So let me ask you. But each of them have different ways of
Like,
coaching.
hizo-
Even
hizo-
Edu was one of those people.
Hizo so ndo nakwambia that nini in the 5 years is flawed because this is the first time like now we can scout a player.
Were they replaced?
Yeah, they were
When
replaced.
were they replaced?
Juzi Viveli took over. Wilcox took what Nani was doing. Ashworth
In
then
25.
2025. Then Viveli, who was in Red Bull, took over what Wilcox is supposed to do.
But before your scouting network and whatever is set up, it will take at least a year.
The scouting is the same. We have the best scouts.
No.
The problem was
But these things you build over time, right?
the Veto guy.
It's fine. Bora tuanze.
No, you build over time.
But
so
bora tuanze.
for me, I feel like your best signings will come from January and the next of season.
No, they'll come from the summer.
You can't get them in the summer.
It
takes time.
We have to. Like, say no option.
Bro, it takes time.
Sahi,
You
we are
can't.
not- sahi,
You see,
unaona?
if you unasema una option, I'm an option sawa. But if you had money, I'd believe you. Amna do.
Kuna do.
Mna do gani?
Shida ni PSR. Like we can't.
Exactly, that's my point.
We
Amna do.
Kuna do. Do iko.
Bro.
Simi ndo nakushow.
The money you're going to pay Ten Hag is more than what Chelsea is going to pay you
Yeah, that's true. But still.
for Sancho.
Hii season like kuna clear out. Si kutakuwa na
We
hiyo
have.
do.
Ni sawa, but if you clear out, you have to.
You saw what Loka said. United will sign Cunha, Delap, and one of Mbeumo ama anaitwa Jomse wa.
Where will you sign those people from if you're firing your own?
Listen.
Kama hamna chakula kwa nini? Hamna.
Watasainiwa bila any sales ama whatever.
Nimedanganya. Si mlifaya watu cafeteria.
Sai so
Hamko na
far.
do.
Acha tumewanyima tickets za kwenda.
Tickets pia mpaka Ferguson mnamchuja.
Yeah, alichagua.
Do
But
iko wapi? Do iko wapi?
Sahi so far we have 70 M's from Europa League.
Yeah, you have 70 M's.
If we win, we get 100 M's.
And whoever is going to pay you for Anthony is going straight to Ajax. Because you haven't finished paying for Anthony.
Tumebakisha, I think it was 20 million.
Mko na madeni, bro.
Hatuna
Madeni ni
deni, bro.
mob.
Hatuna deni.
Check
Mimi ndo
it.
nakushow.
Who was fired before Ten Hag? Have you finished paying for that one as well?
You didn't fire anyone?
Ole. You finished paying Ole?
Ole mshahara yake alikuwa tu so huyo.
Are you sure?
Yeah, mtu mwenye like we si ka Arsenal, bro. Si no iko.
But you
generate
know,
a lot.
You know, us we haven't made signings for 2 transfer markets. As we're waiting.
Same.
We're waiting for
We didn't
now.
sign in
Tumeongelea
January.
United sana. All you can say is Glazers out.
Yeah, and Ratcliffe out.
Glasses are not going out.
Anyway,
and
let's-
then the one signing that you guys made and you told me you love it so much. I'm the only person who loves your signing. I love your signing more than you and
Hey, bro,
Bobby.
that guy's mid. Guy.
I love Dogu more than you and Bobby. And you're the one who told me
I
Dogu will
hate
be a
him
game
now.
changer.
See, I can change my opinion.
No, but that's the recruitment bit that I'm saying. When you got him, you were so happy. Now the recruitment is failing already. It's not even 6 months.
Listen, we were supposed to sign Nuno Mensch, right? But PSG wakatuomba crazy amount. Then the person who was supposed to replace Luke Shaw and Malacia kwanza akaenda loan. Amas akaumia. Amas was supposed to be the direct replacement. So we had to sign anyone we'd get in the summer. Plus, I feel like Dogu was signed because he can play left back, right back, left wing back, right wing back. Right?
Yes.
Plus he's 20.
In fact, you're the one who convinced me that is a great signing.
Yeah.
You're the one who convinced me.
Alafu pia where a player is as good as the environment. Sai hata mimi manio wakinsign. Venye mnajua mimi ni mnoma. Producer.
Umepata knock juzi.
nakwambia
kuna injury jo.
nakwambia mtu alinitufoot tough
Umseli kata kucheza game ya Samiro jo alivunja makucha. Unakumbuka?
Saturday.
Anatuambia ati MC niko na injury.
Saturday.
Hata si kucha ulikuwa umekatika hapa hivi.
Saturday nilikuwa nacheza tough. Msee akanitufoot tough.
That's tough, man.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to Liverpool and Arsenal. I didn't like Liverpool booing Trent.
Oh my God. No, can we just start with the game and finish with that?
Okay, sawa.
Remontada! Incomplete.
Ingekuwa complete
Hatukumaliza.
kama mngepewa red card. I feel like you had the momentum finishing the game.
Let me tell you, Odegaard has had you people talking about him.
Bado kuchini.
He's had you.
As in me watch mimi chenye ananibo bado ni those 3-point stands. Kwani ni gari?
No, but the last 3 games,
You are
the one thing that you tell me Odegaard doesn't do, I've seen him do in the last 3 games.
Plus the Liverpool
Ball
game.
carrying. He's carrying the ball and he's now willing to shoot.
Remember that chance Jana he carried the ball from nowhere when he had the red card. Then he was supposed to square, I don't know, to Martinelli.
Yeah.
Alafu akashoot.
Yeah. At the end of the game.
Yeah. Hapo sasa tena alinibo. Like
Alikuwa anakuboaje? Si yoti ulembashika usukani.
Unaona ile kubamba na kubamba hivi alafu na
He did what you asked him to do. You said you need to see him take that opportunity. When Bruno does it, you don't say anything.
Bruno ni Bruno.
Asijakata.
You know how much
Bruno is better,
wants to pay us?
Mkami ni nyinyi nachukua hiyo do.
175.
Chukueni hiyo do.
Hatuwezi chukua bro.
175 mnajinaza sort shares hizo zote.
I know but still Bruno is that one player who like if we sell him
you get money.
tunakuwa chini.
I mean bado mko chini.
Yeah, but
mtaget do.
But tuko juu ya Bruno. Hatujakuwa relegated juu ya Bruno.
Anyway, yeah, Odegaard yesterday played well. Liverpool hit us with a blitz. Yeah. Hey, quick fire goals. But you know what gave me hope? The fact that it was still 2-0 at halftime. I can just say what nini second half. You know they're in a very party like atmosphere where it's like it's hard for you to sustain a high level of play over 90 minutes.
You go do what you want.
At
go
home.
Have fun.
Like literally the whole thing's a celebration to them, you know. And it's very easy for you to get out of hand. Because they were just playing on the counter.
Yeah.
They were not creating chances when our defense is set up. All their chances were coming from counters or from own mistakes. Quick throw-ins. Like they were just capitalizing on moments, which is amazing. That's what they've done the whole season, right? Yeah. And done it very well. But then there are moments where, and me, I'm seeing this being an issue next year for them. How Martinelli got in between all those tall trees
and
to get a header, right? Like Van Dijk was literally he was so out of the line. I'm like, what's happening? The goals they scored, the Cody goal, I thought he was offside. But when I saw the replay, he was behind the ball, which is fine. Then the other goal was the one where I was like, did that guy run off? But they don't even trust the replay, so we can't even tell. You're just playing off your first impression. But I guess that's where kukuwa na hii automated offside imesaidia juu decision imekiwa mbio na tumeendelea na games. Ndio, that's what we were complaining about in previous years. So I really commend this automated offside, to be honest, as decisions are being made much quicker. That one we at least have to give VAR and we have to give those guys, because I don't think we've had any issues with offside since it came, and decisions are being made like 30-40 seconds decision has been made. So that's very positive. Arteta in the post-match was mad. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
He was angry. He was like, like our standards are much higher than this. We can't be playing like this, especially in the first 20 minutes.
He said you can't blame. There's something he said. He said akasema ni on the players. Then the reporter asked him, so was today's performance on the players or?
Then he said we.
Now in the first 20 minutes it was on me.
Yeah.
And going forward, what I want to see is what we did in the second half.
Yeah.
Fogging standards.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is good. Like this, honestly, like there's this thing that happens in NBA a lot where, so like now the playoffs are happening. You know, NBA it's best of 7.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing you, we're playing 7 times. But if you beat me 4 times, it's over, right? But sometimes, let's say it's after 2 games, you were tied 1-1. And then game 3, you beat me proper by 30 points. So you were happy, we were beating you by 30 points. But the last 2 minutes of the game, I could come up with a game plan and throw things at you and see how you're defending. I'm like, oh, okay.
Evil.
Then game 4, when it comes, now I have figured you out, you see. And that's the same thing with like the end of the season in football. End of the season, sometimes it comes and teams are like, mko hivi hivi, yeah. But the teams that are trying out things, normally teams that play well, Crystal Palace is a great example. Last season, you remember when Glasner came? Yeah. You remember how they played towards the end of that season?
Yeah,
look at them now.
Game.
Yeah. Like, the things you do at the end of the season, I get it, you didn't win a trophy, there's all these things, but you can start developing certain habits towards the end of the season and go to the new. So I get why he's angry like that. Unless you're like champions, because now like Liverpool are champions, there's not much. Them, they know they just have to rebuild, you know. Yeah. Nani's goal, Merino's goal was dope as well. He was quite sharp. Yeah, quite sharp.
Love is the red card.
Yeah, the red card. Anyway, it's fatigue. You do know that guy at Sociedad was never finishing 90 minutes?
Yeah.
He's been forced to play 90 minutes the last
wrong position,
4 games, but he didn't play the Bournemouth game.
And Canono.
Yeah. So it was just fatigue. Because even before that, you saw the foul. The one he lost the ball. And the guy just went and ran.
Pretended he had fainted.
So I get it. It's a big mistake, but to me, that's just fatigue. Again, what can he do? Though we have like 7-8 players who have to play every single game because of the injuries we have. So some things will have to happen and you have to accept that fatigue is going to affect the players. But yeah, remontada ilikuwa vulai.
Alafu Trent came on.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Do you feel like they were justified to boo him?
No. How? Do you know why I say no? If it was any other team,
everyone
if it was you guys, if it was us guys, I wouldn't say no because of what we did to Van Persie. I know there's a part of the fan base that's toxic.
No, Van Persie was not from...
I mean, sorry, not Van Persie. Because of what you did to Xhaka.
Yeah.
When he did that whole thing. I know there's a part of a fan base that's toxic. I know. If it was you guys, I know there's a part of your fan base that's toxic. If it was Chelsea, the same thing. Because Chelsea are so used to firing managers left, right, and center. I would accept. But Liverpool is the one team where, bro, whether you leave or however you left, these guys will always support you.
Except
Look at how highly they... Yeah, Owen is like the only example.
But he tried to suffice his name, Jana.
I heard him. He's so stupid.
When I meet them in the streets, they tell me they remember that FA Cup final.
I thank God I have coping mechanisms. I was like, yeah, sure, bro. Like Liverpool never do this to former players, especially a player who's won you Champions League, taken you to a Champions League final, not taken you, but was a big part. Won 2 Premier Leagues and was part of all those years of you going whatever.
He's actually the one who took you to final.
The guy has more assists than all these midfielders we're calling attacking midfielders now. You know, like this guy was part of an amazing generation. And for Liverpool specifically to boo him, I don't expect that from Liverpool fans. That's why I was completely shocked.
That was love.
I was taken aback. But also...
I blame Karaga. Yende alopeo kiburi.
But when do uliniambia walikuwa nachoma majazi zake na nini?
Yeah. Like that's weird because these are the same people who teach us how to react to our teams. Eric Njiro and Karaga. Now they are telling us not to tell them how to react to Trent.
Yeah.
Diabolical.
Yeah, I was not a fan of it. I was on the live and
everyone is
shocked.
Mad.
I was shocked.
Even Wright was mad. He said
I was shocked.
How could we na Crystal Palace?
And then you saw Luis Diaz was trying to like lift his hand to the fans and you could just tell he doesn't even want to. Like he just doesn't want.
I can't wait for their last game.
It's Liverpool's fault. You should be booing your ownership.
Yeah.
How do you run this guy's contract down? And then you offer him a new contract in his last year. And yes, you offer him the biggest... It was going to be the biggest contract.
Yeah.
I think in Liverpool history. It was going to be the biggest contract.
Even in the right-back history of the Premier League.
But still, you have already shown him that you didn't really want him. So when he was now interested in other teams like...
Madrid.
Hey, but Madrid have pulled.
Plus Madrid is bigger than Liverpool. See ati amedowngrade ama ameenda Man U.
But at this moment in time... Madrid is the only team that has more pull than Liverpool in my opinion.
Nah. United also.
But you guys, right? Okay.
Even you guys, you've taken Zubimendi.
No. You guys, if someone is over 30, it has pull.
Nah. Not
someone in their 20s, the only thing they've seen, a 21-year-old, the only thing they've seen is the last 10 years.
Bro, let me tell you, right now, if I was to have a kid, in the next 20 years, he'll play for United.
But that's you. That's different.
No, that's how it works. Like, most of these kids...
Si Shabana.
Okay.
Okay,
but
most of these kids...
No, but let me ask you.
You know why players go to United and Chelsea and Arsenal? Like most of them grew up supporting these teams or their parents, right? Or they want to be part of the team that brought United back to its glory. Imagine Cunha in 2027.
I can't argue that.
Lifting the Premier League.
I can't argue that because you never know what players. One when we think I'm the savior, and everyone has us. Like some people think they're the savior.
Yeah.
You as Kenan,
Yeah.
let's say you are budding 21-year-old.
Yeah.
And at this moment,
United come for me.
No. At this moment, at this in this year,
Yeah.
2025,
Yeah.
you're a 21-year-old.
Yeah, United come for me.
3 teams come for you.
Yeah.
United,
Yeah.
Liverpool, and Real. And all of them they were like a contract to your meza. Who are you signing for?
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
If Real finally, let's say something happens and then the Real contract is off,
United.
now it's between you and Liverpool.
United.
You won't even think about where the team is right now.
Bro, I'm signing for United. You saw what AI said, and this Arsenal tactical.
Yeah.
He said sometimes it's not even about the trophies. Like this is why you have case in point Zubimendi. Bro, he rejected Liverpool. He's coming to Arsenal.
But we speak Spanish.
Shut up. Ngoja kwanza.
Hey, half our team is Spanish.
Even United, we speak
Portuguese, yeah.
Portuguese na Spain ni neighbors. Yeah? Bruno anajua joints zote za Spain food in England. Plus, okay, Manchester. Okay, but there are many things that players factor in before they move.
For me, personally, if I was to choose...
Wewe unaweza say hata for Crystal Palace over United.
No.
Of Arsenal.
If Liverpool and United game, I'm choosing Liverpool because there's more stability. I'm seeing a coach who can actually... Like, when I see how he's played with Tsimikas, I see how he's played with Trent, and like, as if the manager wants you, Slot has shown us that if he wants you, he'll find a way to put you in the system.
Yeah.
The reason why I'd pick Liverpool over United right now, like let's even forget the biases, right? Is I'm not seeing a pathway. I'm not as a young player, I'll be like, where's the plan to play me? And if you sign me, let's say I'm a centre back. What makes me think that you're not going to go and look for a Cavaran type of player at 27, 28-year-old?
For example,
Yeah.
Euro. Euro was presented by Real Madrid, Liverpool, kwanza aliwa reject mapema, asubuhi na mapema, and United. He sent for us. Why? Because his idol was Luis Nani.
That's true, but that time there were rumors of them also going for Saliba.
My idol.
So if Saliba, if you think about it, you're a right winger, Sindio. You want to go. Liverpool come for you, but then you also hear that Liverpool are in for Vini Junior. Yeah, and you hear that one might happen. And if you slacky, because that's what happened to the Real deal. He was told like he's slacky it and nini.
Real walimwambia they want alikuwa imebakisha miaka 2. The plan was they send him on less money or he runs his contract down.
Then United were just like, it was money because
it wasn't money.
How much did you offer him? How much you pay Euro?
Salary.
How much you pay Euro?
90.
It's not 90, bro.
90 ama 40.
90. It can't be 90.
I swear. Achana like
I'm compare 150.
No, post nani? Post Woodward.
Are you sure?
Aya, acha nikuonyeshe.
Nyi mnakaa sawa kupatia mtu kaa Euro hata tuso.
Zizi.
Hiyo form tuliacha.
Analipo 115.
How many seasons has he played?
3.
No.
He made his debut when he was 16.
But how many seasons has he played in Ligue A?
He played for 3 years. Like he played akiwa 16-year-old.
So you're telling me Saliba played less than him?
Yeah. Saliba ko chini. Acha like if you are talking about ceilings right now and I'm giving you Euro and Saliba, I'll choose Saliba, yes, but I'll have Euro there.
Suleimana, bro.
But anyway, I get your point. I get your point. But I'm still choosing United.
Okay. No, it's fair.
Tuende sasa prediction.
Prediction time.
So we have so the Premier League accepted our requests and our brothers from North London's requests to have their games played on Friday because they are going to represent the nation in Europe.
Yeah.
So on Friday we have Aston Villa taking on Spurs.
3-0 Aston Villa.
4-1 Aston Villa.
3-0 Aston Villa. They are going to rest
everyone. Yeah. Then at the Bridge we have Chelsea Chelsea. Taking on a leaky Manchester United. 3-1 Chelsea.
We need to spend some more time here. Oh,
Yeah.
Nicholas Jackson is out.
He's out, yeah.
Ah, man.
But they have...
And Sancho is out.
they have... can we play? Ama Nkunku. Is Nkunku fit?
Lazima mpokee. Every time nikisema mnapokea nne mnapokea.
Now, whoever plays, we are going to lose.
Bro.
By 3-goal margin.
Chelsea wakipata red card, mnapokea nne.
Hapa lazima tutachapwa ka about 3 hivi ama 4.
Hata mimi naona nne.
Yeah, Chelsea will win 4 ama 3.
4-0. 4-0 Chelsea.
We will score
4-0
one.
Chelsea.
We will score one.
Chelsea. Who will score one?
For United?
Amas.
Nah, Ahmad.
Oh,
Yeah.
sawa.
On Saturday, we have the FA Cup final. Crystal Palace taking on Manchester City.
I mean, it's very obvious I'm going to be supporting Palace.
You've seen what Eze has been doing warming up to this game.
Yes.
Bro.
I think he scored in every game.
Yeah.
He's just been scored in every single game.
Bangers.
And if Man City bring this stupidity they're doing for us here in the last few games, watakiona, watapata kichapo. If you cannot beat Southampton, and you cannot tell me they were focused on this game, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, having Haaland is also a game changer because Haaland can get
A goal from anything.
2 touches, hat-trick.
Yeah.
So you need to be very careful. Like, you don't give that man chances. But with that being said, mi nishaanza ku celebration yangu. Jean-Philippe Mateta. Eze. I'm going with the famous 2-1 win for Crystal Palace. And they're going to score in the first 10 minutes.
The 2 goals.
No. They're going to score one in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then they'll score a second. And then City will score like in the last 10 minutes. And then it'll be a Navi affair to the end. But Palace to win
Ismail Assar, Mateta,
the FA Cup
and
final
Eze.
in fine fashion.
I think if I'm being... if I go with what my heart says, I really want Nini to win Palace. We're in the Europa League. But I see City winning.
Me, after Arsenal, after it was confirmed that we're going trophyless, me sijui ball. So I'm going by heart. Everything I'm choosing is by heart. Hakuna kichwa, to me akili.
I think City will win 2-1.
If you're to make a combined 11, how many City players make it? Goalkeeper? No.
Goalkeeper ni
Hendo. Right back?
Tunaona back 3.
Back back 3.
Yeah, so my back 3 will be
Vardiol
on the left. Lacroix.
Guehi
Katikati. Then Lacroix the other side. Wing backs. I'd have City wana left backs ndio. I'd have Mitchell.
Tyreek.
Yeah, Mitchell over there. Then
right wing back Rico Lewis?
Nah.
Nani?
Acha ni confirm.
Ama umse wao. Nani? Nunes.
Muniz, bro. I'm having Munoz over
as your right wing back.
Yeah, Munoz.
We share.
I'm having Munoz there.
Me I'll have Nunez.
Alafu
midfield.
In midfield hapo sasa ndio nawezeka watu wa City, nawezeka KDB na Nico.
Nani anachezea nani midfield?
Hughes na Lemar.
Adam Wharton.
Yeah, Wharton. Yeah.
Wewe.
KDB and Wharton.
Hey.
KDB and Wharton. Then from 3.
From 3.
It's Melissa Mateta.
Haaland.
Ajakuwa akicheza bro. Like if you give me 2025 Haaland and 2025 Mateta,
okay, let's
I'm choosing Mateta.
No, but Haaland 2025 has scored more than Mateta.
Okay, Haaland basi.
So tosema Haaland,
Eze and Ismail Assar.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
You know ball.
Manager ni Glasner.
Eric Ten Hag.
Si nivo?
Games nivo.
As in nini ni hivyo
FA Cup.
Nini combined 11.
Nivo.
Tuende games za Sunday sasa.
Aya.
We have Everton taking on already relegated Southampton at the Goodson Park.
Everton win, man.
Everton win 3-1.
Everton win 2-0. Is this the last game?
Nah,
at
second
Goodison?
last. Yeah.
See, they're playing 2 games. See, they have 2 more games left. I think the last one would be away, right?
The last one will be away at Newcastle. So
this is the last game at Goodison.
They have to win. They have to go with a bang.
Bro, 4. Sherehe. Ni kuwa na marafiki.
Aya. At London Stadium, we have West Ham taking on Nottingham Forest.
Resurgent West Ham.
Yeah.
Going up against Forest. This is a London derby, eh?
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest is in London.
No.
It's not.
West
anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sisi si wazungu. I'll go with the 2-2 draw.
I'm going for Forest to win
I'll
2-1.
go with the 2-2 draw. In fact, the only thing I can predict is that Marianekis will come onto the field again.
Hey, won't. Anangoja akiwa ground yao. We have now the West London derby. Brentford taking on Fulham.
Oof, that's a good one.
Free scoring Brentford.
Brentford to win.
Last time only in West.
Brentford 3-1.
Yeah, I'm going for Brentford to win 2-1.
None of them can make Europe.
Nah.
Okay, 3-1 Brentford.
It's already sealed. Then we have Leicester taking on Ipswich.
Leicester versus Ipswich.
A relegation derby for next season.
Bana. Last home game for Leicester. Jamie Vardy's last home game in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Should be a good one. I'll go with an Ipswich win. 4-3.
I'm going for Leicester to win 3-1.
4-3 to Ipswich.
3-2. Then at the Emirates, we have the Arsenal. You are by far
the world has ever seen this.
taking on Newcastle.
This game is going to be such a mess, bro. Rice is already out.
Yeah.
Merino is out, which means we don't have a midfield. So I'm already predicting
Shona Isak pale
but
akifanya hivi.
kitu niliona last week ni Martinelli number 9 ilipatia Liverpool stress.
Yeah.
Sasa ukisha kwa na Trossard na Martinelli watu wana rotate tu hapo mbele.
Na Saka.
Wata cause problems hapo mbele. Lakini Blanda ni huko nyuma we can't keep a clean sheet. And there's a guy called Isak who's very dangerous and he'll just be hanging on the wing of Benny Blanco.
Yeah.
So
Show no celebration.
I'm going with a 1-1 draw.
I'm going for a 2-1 win Newcastle. On Monday we have Brighton taking on the champions Liverpool.
Brighton have been looking
Shaky.
weird. No, but they won.
Yeah.
Why did Nani cry when he scored?
Who?
That guy, the number 8.
Sijui.
I know it was his first goal in the Premier League.
Wanakwanga tu Zeta Jahagenbach. Remember that guy who scored as
The Iranian.
Yeah, he scored versus Chelsea and cried.
He crew. But yeah, Liverpool wako vibes, wako sherehe.
Naitaki asira.
But I think they'll have a good game. But with that being said, this will be a high scoring draw for me. 3-3.
I'm going for Nini to win, Brighton to win 3-1. Nivo.
Kwa hayo machache.
Make sure you like, subscribe and share.
Shout out. I have to give a shout out. Do you need to give a shout out?
Yeah. To myself. Nivo too.
You too.
Yeah.
Mi napatina shout out kweli. Hata mi sina shout out. Shout out to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah,
I know we were a day late, but happy Mother's Day. We can't shoot the pod on Sunday.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the mothers. Shout out to your mom.
Thanks.
Shout out to producer's mom. Shout out to Sheng's
Shout out
mom.
to your mom.
Makumi's mom.
Shout out to your mom too.
Thank you.
Mwambie nieke chwani. Peace out. Chwani.
Sipendi mvua.
Ati?
Bwana, tunapotea.